If you're listening to the replay of this live, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. And be sure to let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as we go throughout the video. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Jay, and this is our 2 cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's live, we will be discussing the Battle of the Davids. I want to know your 2 cents, who you got winning this fight. I'm excited for this fight. I've been anticipating this fight. Even though I got my 2 cents about the fight, I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna let some more people roll up in here so we get this talked about. And then we're gonna see who all we got in the building. But sometimes I'll be like, man, I don't do my show till Friday night. Man, people been talking about this stuff all week. I didn't hopped on other people's panels. People didn't heard me talking. But then I realized y'all love this boxing talk just as much as I do. Y'all gonna pull up and talk about it. Y'all gonna pull up and talk about it. So PBC starting off the year with a banger. They starting off the year with a banger. I mean, I guess they better You know what I'm saying? They better get it together. They got to get it all in because Amazon dropping them in May. That's what I heard. Even though they got a fight scheduled in May, but Amazon dropping them. But shout out. And then we got the Tank fight March 1st. And this is what I like. Like, we anticipating the fight with the David Morrell, David Benavidez. Because, it's like, I haven't definitively heard anybody say who gonna win. Like, everybody be like, I got such and such, but then blah, blah, blah. And it's like, But I'm gonna tell y'all who I got. I'll get more people pulling up in here. I don't know why I hear people yelling. So, David, and a lot of people, I wanted to pull this up too, because it's a lot of people like, oh, Benavidez is so emotional. Benavidez is so emotional. I'm like, I feel like Benavidez be always acting like this. I like watching Benavidez before a fight and his build up to a fight. And how much noise and stuff he be talking. Benavidez does a great job at selling a fight. Some people saying he look weight drained. I seen a picture, but I was like, why he look like that? But I think that might have been photoshopped a little bit, because when I watched the actual weigh-in, he didn't look that sunk in. Yeah, I remember he was rolling up on Caleb playing outside. We're gonna look up some clips, and I gotta remind y'all, because everybody like, oh, Benavidez, he being so emotional. I'm like, no, he not. He acting regular. Boy's just ready to fight. So let's cover some other quick topics real quick before we get to the Benavidez fight, because I want everybody up in here so we can have this discussion, and I could drop the link and y'all can drop y'all 2 cents. Because we gotta talk, like, who y'all putting y'all money on? Y'all seen the odds? We're gonna look up the odds. We about to do all of that. But y'all know what's crazy? Because I'm in Texas, right? So I can only use certain betting apps. But people using like DraftKings and all this stuff, and they got these crazy odds. I'm like, I don't have them odds on the app I'm using. Like, your odds say plus 1,600, mine just 750. And everybody like, oh, VPN, use a VPN. Like, nah, I don't want to do all that. I ain't trying to do all that. Because as soon as they cracking down on the VPN usage and the betting, my name pop up in the Rolodex. But y'all got some parlays together. This is going to be a good card this weekend. There's a bunch of other fights on the card. You got Figueroa, Cool Boy Steph rematch. A lot of questions there that people feel like Cool Boy need to answer. You know what I'm saying? A lot of questions there that people still feel need to be answered after his last fight. Was it ring rust? Was he affected by the NOA fight? So Brandon Figueroa, Stephen Fulton. Who y'all got? I like Brandon Figueroa. I like Stephen Fulton. From my understanding, Stephen Fulton is moving up, right? Is this Stephen Fulton's first fight at this weight class? No, I think his last fight was the first fight at the weight class. He was getting acclimated. Let me know if I'm wrong or right. It's like, I guess it was a close fight last time. Let me see. I'm gonna drop the link so we could discuss these fights on the panel as a panel. Cause I want to hear everybody's 2 cents. Cause I ain't no in the ring fight breakdown analyst. That ain't you know what I'm saying. I really enjoy like the business of boxing a lot. So that's why y'all hear me talk about the business a lot. I like the in the ring stuff too. So Champ Ross, what's up, Champ Ross? And I gotta get in on your boxing tournament, man. I gotta get in it. You gotta send me the new picks. I didn't know none of them people you sent last time. Let's see who we got in the building. We got 18 people in the building. Let's get 18 likes, please. Punch that like and subscribe button, y'all. Punch it, just hit it with a power jab. Punch that like and subscribe button. Clarissa Shields got a fight coming up. And a lot of people saying the opponent she fighting is trash. I went and watched some of her opponent fights. I mean, she's not the caliber of fighter of Clarissa Shields, but she's just as athletic, if not more athletic. Hold on, y'all. My phone ringing. I swear nobody ever called me till I get on a live stream. I'm telling y'all. What was I even talking about? Brandon Figueroa? What was we talking about, y'all? Hold on, I'm trying to get the link up there. All right, I'm back, y'all. Okay, so I've really been talking this whole time and been on mute. On a scale of 1 to 10, what y'all rate this PBC card? I've been hearing a lot of people complaining about the card, saying they don't want to see it. It's too much. It's trash. So is it trash and you don't want to see it? Or is it too much? So how is it too much? I don't know. These people would just be saying whatever. How is it too much if it's trash and you don't want to see it? I don't get that. There y'all go. Link pinned to the top of the chat. Let's see who we got in the building. Shout out Zach B in the building. What up, Zach? Mr. Greg in the building. All things D-Town Funk. What up? Why Sports Betting? What's going on? Dragon Assassins Official. What's up? Marshawn West. What's going on? Mel.2G in the building. He say 2 cents. Who you say you got for this fight? I got Morrell, but it's definitely a hard pick. Definitely a hard pick. A lot of people think that Morrell is going to stop Benavidez, but not Vegas. Nah, that ain't what them odds is telling me. Flyer frequency in the building. He said, Cool Boy better hold it down for the town. A Sostan, what's going on? Champ Ross. Marshawn West, Mr. Boxing Fanatic. Is it like an accumulation thing, Champ Ross? Since I missed last week, am I gonna be behind, or can I catch up or something? Or do it start over? I need to know all the rules. I don't play games that I don't know the rules to. Before I play any game, I need to know all the rules, all of them. Big Bob Gunn, what's going on? We got Teach on the panel. What's going on, Teach? I can barely hear you. What you say?
I gotta switch then. Let me switch my device.
PGH Big Dog in the building. What up, PGH? Teach. We just seen Teach. Big Bob Gunn in the super chat with the $4.99, and he don't say nothing. Shout out Big Bob Gunn. Hold on, Teach. I'm gonna let you up. Let me finish saying what up to everybody. GM in the building. What's going on, GM? Skills from Nolans. What's happening? Wow. My homie GM in the building. What up, GM? What up, Teach? What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show today?
Going on 2 cents.
What up?
Man, this is I like the card, man, and I rated a 10. And basically because, we got the David versus David, which is what everybody wanted to see. This is a real 50-50 fight. And me like going like on the YouTube community, seeing what people had to say about this fight, I think everyone is split down the middle. Like half the people got David Benavidez, half got Morrell. So, it could go either way. I do think that there's going to be a stoppage in this fight, man. And I'm going with Morrell in this fight. But I mean, whoever wins, I'm happy with because, they gave us a fight that everybody wanted to see. But I mean, with the card itself, I mean, we got Bull Cruz versus, the other guy. That seems to be a good fight. And we got that bout at 160. That seems to be a decent fight as well. And if I'm not mistaken, and listening to some other streams, these are like everybody's like in the top 10 or something. So this makes it a perfect card in my opinion. This is a good start for PBC.
Is it giving PBC going out of business?
Nah, definitely not, man. And I'm not one of the people who believes PBC is going out of business. So, I mean, from what we heard, we got this card, David versus David. Then we got the Tank card. Then we got a Fundora card, possibly a Spence card in the future. So, I mean, they got a full schedule coming out. So I'm hoping to see.
All right, shout out Teach. We got Mr. Greg on the panel. What's up, Mr. Greg?
Good evening. I'm a little sick, so excuse me if I stutter a little bit, bronchitis. Hey, how you
Oh,
doing
okay.
in the
It's
chat?
good, Greg.
I
I'm good. I'm good. But let me say this real quick. I want your 2 cents of what you got for the show. But listen, as you could see at the bottom of that screen, I now have a call in number. So y'all could call 2 cents and leave me a voicemail. Let me know your 2 cents. Or you can call into the show right now while I'm on live and give your 2 cents. So if you want to call in, you don't want to hit the link and get on the panel and do all that. You just want to pick up your phone and call in and give your 2 cents. The number is at the bottom of the screen, 281-845-2103. Ain't hard to find. What you got, Mr. Greg?
hey, you just expanding all over the place. I mean, go ahead, girl. Um, I see the fight as more of a 60-40. I'm still gonna go with David P. I, although he did seem a little off to me, I can't really place it. It could be because how I'm feeling right now, but he just seemed just a little bit off. I don't think PBC is going out of business, but I am surprised after all these years they haven't built their own network. I think enough money has come through their coffers to try it, and then maybe they have. Or if he was able to get all that money when he got started, I'm sure he still had the capability of getting enough money to build a network. But I don't think he's going out of business. Some good fight cards. I think the fans, of course, fans are always fickle. Even though I see some complaints about this particular card, there's nothing to complain about because you want boxing, you want these two guys fighting, you want to see what Cool Boy is going to do coming back. You gotta take what you got. Sometimes you just gotta take what you get. Everything is not going to be a barn burner, and everybody, is going to be these are just great, fantastic, off the chain fights. But that's fans for you. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this fight, and I think we're going to have a good fight. I don't know. Like I said, 60-40 to me right now. We may see something look different by the time they start actually fighting tomorrow. And I hope we see something that everybody's happy about. That's kind of what my 2 cents is on this fight.
Okay. Well, what about the rest of the card? I mean, got Brandon Figueroa and Cool Boy Steph.
Mm-hmm.
You got Issa Cruz. Everybody keeps talking about this Issa Cruz and Angel fight too. How this about to be a fire fight.
I like all the fights. That's what I'm saying. I think it's a decent card. I don't know where the complaints are coming from or why. And like I said, this is the fickleness of fans sometimes. But I think it's a good fight card. It's a solid fight card to me. What more
I
do
need
you want?
somebody in the chat. If you in the chat and you like, you're not a fan of the card, is whatever. How if you feel like opposite, could you please click the link and come up here and give me your 2 cents and tell me, what it is that you don't like about the card? I'm interested to hear the opposite side of that because I would like to know which fights you don't like.
I mean, for me, like the way I see it is that it is all going to be agenda based, right? Like if you don't like the PVC, you're not going to like certain aspects of this card. I mean, at this point, it is what it is with these type of people.
I'd like to know what do people expect each time there's a PVC card? What is it that always brings out some kind of complaint? And of course, the typical PPC going out of business, what they've been doing for
Who
years.
to go? Click the link. Who to go? I want your 2 cents. Like, why you feel like that? Why is PBC not giving us great cards? Why is PBC still not giving us great cards, even though they got like all the records for cards and gates and pay-per-views, and don't they?
I'd like to know what is a great card to those who think this is a bad card.
Click the link. Who to go? Otherwise, you're just trolling. And I think this who to go just be trolling.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way that I always put it, and this is like my personal feelings about the PVC. So for me, PBC has pretty much the best fighters, right? Like the best US fighters. And they have given, they have given good fights, like the best fights. But my only issue is the frequency of the fights. Like for me, I just need more.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, but that's
But you
kind
know,
of
we were talking about that. Oh, AM them went live this late. Come on, Greg. How you gonna go live this late? But what was we talking about?
no. I was just going to say, shit. I done lost my train of thought now. Go ahead and finish. It'll come back to me.
I forgot what I was saying. We were talking about the cards. Oh, who the Go says the David fight is A, and Figueroa easily beats Fulton this time. Oh, okay. So that's your reason why the card is trash, because you think that David, you don't like the David fight, and you think Figueroa easily beats Fulton. Okay.
Well, that would make the fight interesting to see if that's what you think's going to happen, and then you watch it and it don't go that way. But if you just think, oh, they're gonna lose, he's gonna win, and you don't, and you think it's trash, that's what a problem is.
Yeah,
Too
that's a
much
troll.
attention.
D1 in the building. What up, D1?
What's up with you, Jay? How you doing?
I'm
I'm
good.
driving. I don't even know if you can hear me or not.
Oh, you sound good. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Man, I just wanted to come up and give you my two and tell you that this is a great card. People in the comments already hating on it and shit. Like, to me, there's not much more you can ask for in a card. Like, it's 4 top championship fights with all names that we know, maybe besides Pitbull's opponent. This is one boxing fans should be supporting. And if they don't support, it's probably because they weren't going to support no matter whose card it was. Turkey's card, Al's card, anybody's card. They're just thieves and they ain't real fans of the sport. They're going to steal the shit anyway. So I don't really care about their opinion any longer. It's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, you know how it is. It's always going to be.
Yeah.
But you know what I was thinking is kind of like, really kind of like unfair. Why is PBC in competition with Turkey? Turkey is Eddie Hearn, Bob Arum,
Oscar.
and Frank Warren. How the hell is Bob Al Heyman in competition with all of them by himself? And then you want to be like, oh, Turkey better. No, when you say Turkey, you talking about 4 other companies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we talking about? They're not even in competition with each other.
My feeling
At
is
PBC, like, let's get this clear so we can just nip this narrative in the bud right now. Even though we're gonna still talk about, but PBC and Turkey are not in competition with each other.
Nope, they're in business.
Turkey
together.
is over there.
They do business.
Yeah, they do business together.
I just think they want him to come under.
Like,
They just want him to come under Turkey's control or influence or whatever the case may be, because there's some still very good fighters and great fighters too. They just haven't been getting a lot of work that's over at PBC. So you got all those guys that have gone over to Turkey, and Al still hasn't done it, but he's still putting on cards that for the most part, people want to see, regardless of who says whatever. And I just think once he has Al under his wing, then he's sort of completed what I think he was trying to do from the very beginning, is to be the dominant force in boxing in terms of putting cards on. I don't think Al's going to bend to his will anytime soon, though.
Al, who to go? Why did you need to see Charlo on this card? Why did you need to see him on this card? Tell me why you needed to see him. This card don't compare to Turkey card. Which one don't it compare to? Who to go? Which one don't it compare to? Windy City Assassin say PBC gave you 3 undisputed fight cards in the past 4 years: Canelo, Plant, Spence versus Bud, and Charlo twice. 99 for this card. Come on, it's not worth it. PBC got everything on pay-per-view. Did Turkey not charge for his cards? Were they free, y'all?
That's who I'm talking about. Guys like him. He ain't gonna buy this shit anyway. He's just a hater to be out here. Probably Rick Glazer from a troll account or somebody that's around
Rick
that
Glazier.
believes his narrative. Like for real.
Maybe it is
Crazy.
Rick Glazier.
Dick
I know.
Glazier,
Click
is
the
that
link,
you?
then Goofy.
And what's
Oh,
really
man.
what's Rick Glazier's obsession with PBC? Like seriously, the man constantly puts out false information after false information, and then people have the audacity to really make content off of things Rick Glazier is saying. I'm like, what? And then they will argue with me like Rick Glazier do be right. I'm like, when?
I don't
Couple of
see how a
times.
grown man keeps a grudge that goes back to when Al Heyman was a concert promoter. That's where it comes from. And I
No,
don't
they
know.
asked him. They asked him to leave a PBC event, and then ever since that time, it's been crazy. Like the amount of hate this guy's got towards them, and plus, not to mention, like PBC took part of what he made money off of out of the game completely. He can no longer make money scamming these young fighters.
Mhm.
So you know, what I mean, I think it's a combination of things, but
Yeah,
it is what it is.
yeah, but you
So the
stay mad.
5v5 card where all Eddie Hearn fighters got it they ass whooped is better than this card coming up.
Fuck out of here. The hater, who the goat, who the goofy, more like it.
He must be a throat goat.
Ooh,
Facts.
ooh, too. Did you say throat goat?
Yes, I did.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I'm gonna scoot out of here, man. If boxing fans don't like this card or want to fight against PBC, got all the everything's pay-per-view, and come up with any of them goofy narratives, they're not gonna buy this shit anyways, and we're not really talking to y'all because you're just gonna hate anyways, and you'll be the first person with your fire stick recording and posting bogus ass content on it. So I ain't worried about none of these thieves and non-boxing fans. They're not real boxing fans. If you don't like this one or want to pay for this, where I'm at.
Where you go, D1?
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
happened?
I ain't rocking with these dudes no more. They're not real boxing fans. They never have been. They probably just got into this shit during COVID and started watching what we do and pretend to be boxing fans. It's bogus.
It
man.
is
If
what it
you
is.
ain't-
I mean, it's a mix of everybody on here. You know what it is.
It is, and that's why I try to make it clear who I'm really talking to, because real boxing fans will want to support this one. Like, there ain't nothing else that you want a fighter to do. Like David Benavidez is what every single hardcore boxing fan wants their fighter to do. It says they want their fighter to. That's exactly what he's doing. If you don't want to support this kid, you don't want to support anybody, and you're just a hater. I'm gonna support this shit. I already bought it twice, one for each guy, because I want these guys to succeed at every cost possible. And it just is what it is with me. I'm a real boxing fan, and when you give us one like this, I'm a show love.
And I
I've
agree.
always been like that. So y'all have a great night. I'm gonna go back in the comments. I'm actually running into the liquor store and shit. So I got I'll be in the comments.
We'll
You
get
know,
you some Remy.
yeah, no doubt. I get salted caramel whiskey. Same
Okay.
shit.
Enjoy your
Same shit.
night.
Yeah, you guys too. Thanks, Jay. Thanks for having me. God
I
bless.
kind of agree with what he said about David. We all know David's been trying to get the fights. It's not like he just cherry picking or he's not fighting. He's been actively trying to get the big fight. He's trying to get the fight with Canelo. Canelo not messing with him. So it's not like he's not doing what what he should be doing on his part. He gotta get what he gotta take what comes his way. The Morrell fight is a good fight, and that's what he had to take. You know, we can't see we're still not at this point seeing a fight between him and Canelo, but the fans who are saying this is a weak card or this is a trash card, like the guy, like D1, I think it's D1 just said, they're not actually boxing fans, because every card is not going to be a barn burner no matter what you think. Some cards are going to be soft, but if you're a boxing fan, you still want to see some of these guys. They may be in soft right now, but they're coming up or they're getting better. And that's how you start to track the progress of fighters, by all the fights that they've been on, not just one fight, because you're not going to get monster fights back to back to back to back to back. You'll get some soft fights. You'll get some fights where the fighter is off that particular time. And you need to be able to see all of that and make a good assessment of what you're watching. But if you just think you're going to see somebody being spectacular every time they're in the ring, you're fooling yourself. And you shouldn't be watching boxing if that's how you feel about it, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. But oh, look who we got. Band-Aid in the building. What up, Band-Up?
Nicholas Hannon. Salute, Greg.
Let me say this
Hey,
real
what's
quick.
going
We
on,
got
Band-Up?
40 people in the live. Listen, if you're new here, please punch that like and subscribe button and let me know I subscribe. As soon as you hit the subscribe button, I definitely want to be familiar with and know who my subscribers are. We got 16 likes. Please hit that like button. Hit the like button, y'all. Let's get to 30 likes. 40 people here. Hit the like button. It's free. If you would like to help monetarily support the channel, you can always drop a super chat, or you can hit the Cash App scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You can hit the link, jump on the panel, and give your 2 cents, or you can now call in with the call-in number 281-845-2103. That's scrolling at the bottom of your screen. And if you're listening to the replay, you can still call in, leave me a voicemail, let me know your 2 cents, and we will run through the voicemails that you leave on the show. Band Up, what's your 2 cents and what you got for the show? And then after Band Up go, I'm going to give my 2 cents about the fight and how I think it could possibly go. Band Up, what you got?
Watching David Morrell, because I already know too a little bit about Benavidez. He has a couple good punches. What I look at the type of punches that a person is willing to throw, and their punch selection really. And he throws good. He throws a really good right cross, but so does David. And he throws a really good, I want to say left uppercut. His uppercuts are clean nonetheless. So I think I still got my analogy from the fight. I think if Moreno doesn't tire it out, then he could give David a little bit of issues, especially with that height. You know what I mean? You're punching down an opponent. Nonetheless, if he doesn't, then Davis is going to put that. Then Benavidez is going to put that pressure on him. He's going to end up like everybody else.
Yeah.
You have to hit somebody with something. It's kind of like you got to. If a person's really coming towards you, like Benavidez is a pressure fighter, you have to stop that fighter. You have to stop that fighter from walking forward. And if Morrell can't do that, then it's going to be a long night for him.
Yeah, that's what I think too, because this is the thing over the Morrell with the power and Benavidez with the pressure. I think experience is going to win this fight. And I get it. David Benavidez has been fighting. The only thing that's made me like, because David Benavidez has been bringing up smaller fighters and fighting them. That's the only thing that's making me kind of be like, But then the experience of Benavidez over Morrell, I think that's going to be the biggest factor and the biggest difference in this fight. Like literally, if Morrell power does not affect Benavidez like that, he's in trouble.
And you're gonna find that out early. You're gonna find that out early too. It's gonna be within the first 2-3 rounds if you're gonna find that out.
And what southpaws have Benavidez fought?
Not for sure.
I'm not sure either.
Y'all let me know in the chat. What southpaws have Benavidez fought? I got to get my charger, y'all. Hold on.
What's been going on with this Band Up? Everything good?
Yes, sir. How you been, Greg? That's one of the reasons I hopped on to say what's up to you, man. I ain't talked to you in a while. How you been?
Yeah, I'm a little.
Somebody say Andrade. Boo Boo was a southpaw.
Oh yeah, that's one.
Yeah, okay, but Boo Boo ain't had no pop like that. He ain't had nothing to keep him off of. But he also brought Boo Boo up.
He had to, like I said, he had to take what was going to be made available to him.
Sports Heaven say Morrell power is definitely gonna play a part, but Morrell's last fight, his power didn't seem to do much. But they were saying, oh, the dude was a mover and Morrell was injured and all this other stuff. But his power didn't seem like it was hidden like that. at the last fight. They both didn't just look too great at 75.
So they're adjusting, and if
E-Town
that's what you
Funk
have to go
say
ahead.
Benavidez
The
is
thing
going
about
to
the
watch this
Andrade
guy.
and Benavidez, it
Hold on,
was
let me read this comment. Hold on, Banda.
they power.
Hold on, Banda. Benavidez is going to watch this guy. Morrell has faced nothing near the caliber of the monster. Some people say Morrell got a good resume. What you were saying, Banda?
I was saying, like in the Andrade fight, it wasn't only pressure. I think a little bit of skill played that part too. It wasn't only the fact that David was hitting him; it was how he was hitting him. It was the angles he was hitting him from. It looked like a fight until it wasn't a fight. You know what I'm saying? It was a skill set with that a little bit as well. Now, Andrade, he tried to come in there and apply his own game plan, apply his own skill. You know what I mean? And that was not working as the later rounds got on. He got lucky. You know what I mean? A couple hits in the early rounds, but you got to have a energy little rabbit in your backpack for that one. You got to keep that type of stuff up. You know what I mean? You got to keep that athleticism up, and at bigger weights, it's harder to do that.
And Richard Paris got a point. He said it was their first time at 175. Let them acclimate. They could have been looking like that because they was acclimating to the weight. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. This is the first time Morrell fought at 175.
Second.
So he has he has had at least one fight then. Let's see.
Yeah, it's both their second fight at 175, but I think it's gonna look like the Caleb Plant fight.
Think so?
Yeah, I think it's gonna look like the Caleb Plant fight.
That's interesting,
I think Morrell is gonna come to fight, man.
I hope so. That will make it fun if he decides to fight Benavidez, because Benavidez probably is handling the 175 a little better, I think, because he's already big. And he likes to fight too. So both of them have that mindset in the ring for the beginning, the middle, and even the end of the fight, however long it takes. I think that's what's gonna make the fight interesting, because there's a lot of variables.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, man, because like when you compare Benavidez and Vazek, to me Benavidez kind of looks small at 175.
Well,
and then when you see like the weight,
yeah, but you know he's gonna rehydrate up crazy though. Benavidez gonna rehydrate up crazy.
But then if you look at the weigh-in today with Morrell and Benavidez, I mean Morrell kind of looked more fuller than him, right?
Let's see if we can look up the weigh-in. GM says, I hope Morrell watch Benavidez so y'all can stop the resume talk. GM, come click the link and give your 2 cents. What you talking about? But you know what? I'm not gonna lie. The whole resume talk. I mean, I be on the resume talk, but after the Earl and Spence fight, it's kind of like, even though I got my theories about that fight, but still, that resume talk, like, I mean, does it really play a part?
And like the way that I see. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just said for conversation it does, but in the actual fight, I don't know.
Like to me, the way that I see.
Oh, it's their third time at 75 Phenomenal Show? I thought it was their second fight.
I think this is their second fight.
GM say all I know is Benavidez got dropped by a bum. I mean, but anybody can get dropped in a fight if they get caught slipping, get hit right.
Yep.
Somebody said that was Boo Boo's first fight at 168. Andrade said they would not let him get a tune-up. I've been hearing fighters say that they don't be letting them get tune-ups. I don't understand that.
Because everybody's trying to get an advantage. That's all part of the business part. You can't do this, you can't do that. You got to come in like this. So that's all part of the game outside the ring.
You know, I was on a panel and I was telling somebody, because we were talking about the rehydration clause thing, and they were like, oh, the rehydration clauses put you at a disadvantage. And I was like, well, if it puts you at a disadvantage, why do the sanctioning bodies do it? And I was like, it's boxing. Like, it's chess, not checkers. It's about strategy. It's about this. It's about that. So he you know what he said to me, Mr. Greg? He said, "Oh, so you don't like what happened in the ring? You just like the boxer that strategized the most." I said, "No, because if that's the case, Terrence Crawford would be my favorite fighter."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got to understand that this is a business for the fighters as well, and strategy means everything. How are you preparing? Have you got into your opponent's head in any kind of way that's going to give you advantage? Do you have the bigger ring as part of your negotiation? You know, what weight gloves you're using, all of those things. And of course, the rehydration clause. Did you give him a little bit more money if he did this or he did that? Those are all strategies that are designed to help you win. And people don't understand. It's not just about the athletics side of it or the fighting side of it. It's also about the business, because the promoters, they're about the business.
Yep.
And the managers are about the business. And if I can get my man as many advantages as possible, that's my job to do.
Shout out to Mr. Greg with the $5 in the super chat. He says, "Put this in the cash register, sis." Shout out, Mr. Greg. Good idea, Mr. Greg. I might give me a cash register sound.
That would be a good one. I mean, you're getting all the great things for your channel, so I'm watching.
We got Chef Curry here Chef Curry in the super chat with the $2. Says here for the cook queen. Shout out Chef Curry.
So who you got winning, 2 Cent?
Now, I've heard both sides and I hear them, but I just feel like I cannot go against the experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big factor.
Morrell is good, but is he that good? Is he that good? Is Benavidez not that good as we think? You know, it's a tough pick, but I'm going to go with Benavidez. But, you know, I'm about to get some parlays together because this could go either way. And Morrell got some good odds.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. Vegas don't even think Morrell going to win.
Yeah, I don't. I like I said, I see it as a 60-40, and I think I'm really being generous with that. But that's what makes this a great card. Anytime you aren't 100% sure, or you got half the people thinking one way, that's the makings of a great card, because everybody has a different opinion, and nobody is saying David Benavidez is going to just destroy him across the board. Yeah, you should be watching that fight and pay for it. But yeah, I think David still wins.
Why do you have it as a 60-40? Is it specifically because of the experience, or do you see something else?
The experience,
10%.
The experience to me and the size. I think he's still a little bit bigger than Morrell. So that's why I'm giving him that extra 10. And like I said, I still think I'm being generous because I'm thinking about how many times David has fought overall. I think that actually goes into the experience part as well. But that's where I get that from. David looks like he's going to rise to the occasion. And so when you look like that and you're talking like that, it's just a matter, are you going to do that in the ring? And we're going to, we'll see that probably in the first 3 rounds, I think. But it's a big fight for him. But it's more of a bigger fight for David Morrell than it is for Benavidez. David Benavidez shouldn't lose. He can't afford to lose, I don't think.
Right.
But Morrell, certainly this is a bigger win for him if he wins. And I think when you come in with that mentality and then you take that into your preparation and you show it, that gives you the fuel to go in there and say, this is my opportunity, because then I'll have this big name on my resume.
D-Town Funk, click the link and come on up here. Big Dog Willie on the panel. What up, Big Dog Willie?
What's cracking? How you doing, sis? What's up with everybody on the panel?
Hey, now.
Fight, pre-fight Eve.
Okay. When you guys get done, I'll put my 2 cents on here.
Now, what's your 2 cents? And then we're gonna take a look at this weigh-in real quick, just so we could see like, who all think he really looking weight drained or whatever the case may be. But what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
So I got Benavidez. I think what it is that Morrell hasn't seen anybody like Benavidez before, but Benavidez have seen great boxers before, as in Caleb Plant and stuff like that. A little bit. I mean, Caleb Plant is a better boxer than Morrell. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but he is. So I think that the thing about Morrell hasn't fought somebody like Benavidez who just comes forward and who basically unstoppable machine, and he doesn't get tired. And that's another thing. Morrell kind of fades at the end of the fights. But I have been watching I did some homework on him in the last week and watched like 10 of his fights, and he fades. So I don't know. I really see Benavidez on a mission though, too. So I it's hard. I'll say right now, I'll be saying 65-35.
Okay.
That's my opinion. I mean, I don't know what anybody else say, but that's man. I can't. I mean, Morrell's cool. I'm a Benavidez fan, so that I might be a little bit biased, but Morrell's a good fighter. He's a good fighter, but I don't know if he can. That pressure, man. That pressure.
That's what I'm saying. That pressure. Unless he's able to push Benavidez back, or his footwork just finna be so great, and Benavidez he finna dance around Benavidez. I mean, and even if he dancing around, he gonna do that the whole fight.
Yeah, he don't get tired. That's the deadly part. He don't get tired. It's kind of like, remember Hagler never got tired.
The athleticism is a question.
Huh?
From who? Morrell?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but how long is it going to be a question? Because if he gasses out and gets tired, that's why I say it's going to look like the Plant fight. Because Plant was getting with Benavidez. I was like, oh no, Benavidez finna get outboxed.
And Plant's a better, and like I said, Plant's a better boxer too than Morrell. So. And I mean, Morrell hits harder, but Plant's a better boxer. So I just can't see him. I just can't see Plant I mean, not Plant, but Morrell sitting there for 12 rounds trying to fight with this dude when he's like, man, like, I mean, I don't know if you guys are old enough, but Hagler used to have the endless energy and just kept pressuring cats, and that wore you down. You got to be somebody like a Sugar Ray Leonard or Roberto Duran to last them 12 rounds with him. It's not easy. It wasn't easy at all. No, you got to be a great.
It shouldn't be like everybody like, oh, he moved up, but it would be worse since he's moving up because he was already shrinking down so far. So I would feel like it's about to be even worse because he's gonna be at better strength. He's not cutting as much weight, even though people saying he looking weight drained. Let's take a look at this real quick. I'm gonna try to fast forward to the part where we can see them both.
WBC and WBC first.
All right, here go Morrell. All right, Morrell looking good. Now let's see Benavidez. Y'all think Benavidez look weight? Hello?
We here.
Yeah, we here.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, y'all think Benavidez look weight drained?
Just looks off to me for some reason.
I mean, Benavidez is like always out of in shape. If that's a good way to put it.
Yo.
Some people just don't.
He got that Paul Pierce body. Like Paul Pierce. You know how Paul Pierce always looked like he was out of shape? I'm like, do he work out? He looks
kind of like
flabby.
a Joel Embiid. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Nah, but this is how Benavidez looks in his weigh-ins. you're not gonna get like a super athletic build from Benavidez.
Yeah, his body just doesn't do it.
But if you but 2 cents, if you see their face off, I mean you could tell their size difference.
Do you have a
The face off. Let's see.
Yeah. At the end,
Let's
yeah,
see
at
the
the
face
end of the
off.
weigh-in, if you could
It
show
seems like my
that.
internet start tripping every. Let me pull it back up. Yeah, so I think that's gonna pull it off, y'all. I think Fulton gonna pull it off. I think who y'all got winning?
And that's
Fulton needs to pull it off. He really does.
Yeah, Fulton don't have a choice.
that's
Yeah,
a
he don't.
threat to me.
Fulton
Still.
can't lose no more.
Nope.
No. Anyway, did something to him, man. Anyway, did something to him. He ain't been the same
But
ever since.
when he came, he didn't look too bad in his last fight though. He didn't look that bad.
But he didn't look at the explosive that he used to look. I mean, like it seemed like anyway just took his soul and just be like, nah, that's my shit. I get back to you when I feel like it. Like he didn't look explosive. He didn't look too bad, but he didn't look like he did before anyway.
When you compare the B-Fig fight at 126 and you compare Fulton at 126, there's a huge difference there. Like B-Fig, he looked much better than what Fulton did. Remember, Fulton got knocked down in that fight, which is not a good look.
No. I mean, like anyway, beat the shit out. Anyway, beat the shit out of Fulton. Not even close. It was just a straight ass whooping.
Yeah. Did you see his last fight? The 4-rounder, basically. In a way.
That fight when he wasn't even really trying.
Right.
Yeah, because they put a replacement. That was easy work for him.
Yeah, that was real easy work. I feel sorry for the guy who got I can't think of his June something. That was a nasty knockout.
Oh, that was bad. And he hit him like
it's like what you said. Sometimes fighters get beat up and sometimes they get beat down.
He got both.
Yeah, he didn't have no business being in the ring with that man.
Yeah, that early replacement, and that's the thing. If you could rise to an occasion, yeah, but they should have known that poor dude had no business in the ring in a way. But
Yeah, that was bad.
Shout out Cash Crypto on the panel.
What's good, Cash?
What up, y'all?
What's up, Cash Crypto?
It's going down.
What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
I was just listening to y'all, man.
What up? What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. You good?
Yeah, you guys got some good points. I still got the same.
Yeah, we hear
my
you.
pick,
my internet is tripping. Can y'all hear me? Hello?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
We hear you.
I don't think she can hear us.
Oh shit!
Can you hear us, 2 cents?
Come on, Nickel Slick. I know
you're here. Cash Crypto.
Man, your internet been fucking up lately.
I'm here. Can y'all hear me? Go ahead.
She can't hear us. So just go.
The internet been tripping.
Damn. Now I got the same pick. Like Big Dog Willie said, Morrell, his gas tank ain't all that, man. And if you guys watch the opening, if you guys watch their workouts, man, Benavidez looks like he trained for some super speed and power. So he look a lot faster, man. I think he's planning on beating Morrell to the punches, which he already got the quicker. His punches are going to come quicker anyway because Morrell got some more wide. His heavy shit be coming with some wide shit on it. Anything can happen, but if Morrell don't not David out in the first 4 rounds, I just think he's gonna take a major beat, and that pill technique's gonna come in them late rounds, and he's just gonna take a thrashing. That's what I see.
Oh, that's a good point, Cash. Crypto Benavidez got them fast hands. He gonna be he gonna 30 punch combo, Morrell.
Yeah, he has some fast
He's
ass
gonna be
hands.
punching him in between his punches. Not a lot of boxers can handle that. Oh, y'all, man, Benavidez is gonna beat David Morrell, y'all.
Benavidez got that. He got that. I don't give a fuck. I love watching Benavidez fight.
Throwing.
Yeah, he don't care about nothing. He got a good chin. He got knocked down when he was 20 years old. Big fucking deal. That shit ain't happened ever since. I don't know why people make so much out of that, but it's gonna be a dogfight for the first 5-6 rounds, and shit's gonna come down to whoever wanted more, and whoever can take more of a beating. And yeah, I got my money on Benavidez.
Yeah, I got David.
And I think it might not even go 6 rounds for the fact that Morrell has the lack of experience and that pressure, them fast hands and those combos. You ain't got no power to keep them off of you. 3 rounds of that is enough.
This one of the matchups.
Fighters. It's not. I don't think it's going to be the whole fight. It's going to be certain punches that make the other fighter do something, and that's when we're going to really tell. That's why I said it's going to be in the first 1 to 3 rounds. We're going to figure out who's about to win this fight. Because ain't no coming back for either one of them if you let somebody else get the upper hand.
Right.
Well, Morrell the one that got the power, so he should. You know what I'm saying? He got the power. If you got the knockout power, like you can't never be counted out the whole fight. Unless
you know what? I'll be honest with you about the knockout power. I'll be honest with you about the knockout power. It's not thudding knockout power. It's not like you just get bang and you're out of it. He has knockout power, but it's not lights out knockout power.
He got
like you see,
power, but he ain't knocking nobody out with 1 punch either.
So that's what I'm saying with like Benavidez don't have, but Benavidez hands are quick. And he put combinations. He has great combinations, and he will. I don't know. I just can't see.
He's a elation puncher. He just wear you down. Like God.
Who got the better chin?
But that's here to find out. I don't know.
Because Benavidez is a type who'll get his chin chested if he has to, because he'll keep coming. He likes to fight. He likes these slugfests. I don't think Morrell does.
So, Greg, with that question, who makes the more mistakes?
Well, you can leave that open.
Okay.
Benavidez, that's what I'm saying. Benavidez style.
That's a good question,
Band up. But this is the thing about the mistakes. Benavidez style. It's not like Morrell just got the experience to capitalize so much off the mistakes Benavidez makes, and that's why I'm saying the experience is the biggest difference here.
But even with the mistakes, does Benavidez even care if he makes them? The way he keeps coming at you,
right?
He's gonna have to care, because Morrell is a very sharp counter puncher, so he can't just go in there recklessly.
But you can't counter me if I'm throwing 15 punches at you.
The way that I see this fight, right, and like the path to victory for both guys, for me, I would say, hey, Morrell, he can't just stand in front of Benavidez, right? He needs to use like lateral movements, angles, and keep resetting, right? And then he has to establish his jab, which Morrell has a nice jab, just to disrupt Benavidez's rhythm. And if Benavidez does get inside, because Benavidez like to pressure people, Morrell's gonna have to have his counters ready, and Morrell is a good counter puncher. Like, he's a very sharp counter puncher. So Benavidez is gonna have to watch out for that one. Also, again, you speak about the power of both guys, right? To me, Morrell is a stronger power puncher. Like, get you out in a few punches, while Benavidez is, he has to accumulate them. So Morrell, he has to select his power shots very well in that fight. Benavidez now, again, he's just going to keep pressuring, which is what he does. And that could overwhelm Morrell, right? He has to use like body shots to stop Morrell's, lateral movements and all that. Force Morrell into a firefight to see what Morrell's stamina is like, going later in the rounds. You guys talk about Morrell's stamina, right? I haven't seen a stamina issue from Morrell yet. He only had 11 fights. he's been getting guys out of there. So we don't know what Morel's stamina looks like. But what we do know is Benavidez, he has a crazy gas tank. We know he could go all 12.
That last fight that he had, bro. If you didn't notice round 8, 9, that he started to he didn't have it on. He didn't have that mustard on his shit. Then you need to watch it again.
But the last fight, right?
Morel gonna mess up by
his
coming in this
mistake-
fight trying to knock Benavidez out when he should be putting his energy in moving and boxing, because that would be his best way to beat
But how
Benavidez.
long
But
can he move and box though, Cash?
exactly,
Triple?
that's
the thing.
what I mean. I don't think he can do it because Benavidez ain't Benavidez will figure you out. He can figure out boxers, and people be acting like he can't box. Man, motherfucker just don't. He just doesn't go in there to box. He can box, but he goes in there to beat you the fuck up. But he can box. Y'all people gonna see that.
Morel's mistake in the last fight was his power punches. Like, he wasn't selecting them well, right? But that fight went 12, and I mean, from my point of view, I mean, I didn't see a stamina issue.
Yeah, he has some kinks in. He was at the end of the fight, like I said, like 9, 10, like his name said, like he started kind of not sitting on his punches. Well, he's kind of like he wasn't throwing hard like he was. He was getting tired.
Morel got that heat on his punches early, man, but later
I
on,
I watched that last fight with Morel, and I was out. I went out. They was playing it in a bar, in a restaurant. I went to the bar as a restaurant. They was playing the fight in the restaurant that I was at, and I was like, "Wow, they got Morel on TV." Watched the fight, and he just did not look that hot to me at all. They were saying he's injured. They was, he acclimating to the weight, this and that. But I'm like, ooh.
Benavidez gonna attack that body too.
And I see why Benavidez like, he might not have wanted to fight him at 68. But he willing to fight him at 75 for some reason.
This gonna be a good fight, man.
Either way, yeah. This is the kind of fights, this is the kind of conversations that I like. We're not talking about no weight class. We're not talking about who did it sound what. This is great. To me,
Nobody's crazy daddy.
Yeah.
The better the fighter, the more pettier the conversation, unless they putting ridiculous stuff all in the media. Then we talk about that.
We know the three. We know the three we talking about. But yeah, crazy, crazy nuts.
You gonna have a fight party on YouTube, Tucson?
Yeah, I might go live tomorrow. Y'all want me to go live tomorrow? Put a 1 in the chat.
You don't go live?
Bunch of people going live. So.
You know what? I'm sorry, 2 cents.
I usually hop on other people's panel though.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm about to turn my TV down and listen to KQKC. Hopefully,
Yeah.
So because that's my guy. He calls them fights like an old school dude.
Nah, I don't know. I ain't gonna be calling no fight, so you might want to do that because I don't know how to call no fight. I'd be like too busy trying to watch it.
Hey, 2 cents in the panel. I gotta go. I'm gonna head over to Lou's 2 cents. So
All right, Teach. Thanks for coming up. Oh, we got Aunt McQueen in the building. What up, Aunt McQueen?
What's going on, 2 cents? Gentlemen up here, what's going on? What's going on?
What's up, man? What you got for the show?
I don't think it's so much a matter of like who makes mistakes, but just certain tendencies that they have and how they play into each other. Not necessarily a mistake thing. Like, for example, look at David Morel with his defense and David Benavidez. Both of them utilize the high guard, but for the most part, I would say that David Benavidez is more active with his high guard. It's not static. You know what I'm saying? The way he utilizes the high guard is kind of like windshield wipers. Like, he'll actually pick shots off, catch shots. If you watch his last fight that he had with Bosnick, he was changing levels, slipping, getting his head off the line, utilizing the cross guard, a shell at times. Like, his defense was very nuanced. But Dave Morel, from the beginning to end, even if you go all the way back to his amateur fights, is just straight up high guard. And the one thing that David Benavidez is really good with is manipulating the high guard, whether it be punching around it, paling the guard down, placing shots like right behind it. I think that could be potentially problematic for him. Leaving his body just completely exposed. I think that David Morel, he's pretty agile, but in terms of the way he uses his feet, You don't really see him fighting off the back foot like that, or even really moving laterally too much. For the most part, he's just coming forward. He's just pressing. While I think he could potentially be a little bit more agile than David Benavidez, I do think that David Benavidez has the better feet in terms of using his feet pragmatically, like practically. Like you'll see him at times, like for example, the Gvozdyk fight. Gvozdyk, there was a sequence in the fight, I want to say it was like the third round. Gvozdyk pumped out a triple jab to try to keep David off him. What did David do? In an attempt to take the jab away from him, he went southpaw. He started leading with his right hand, and he started placing the left hand after that. Like he'll do sneaky little stuff like that, where it's like if you just get caught up in watching the way his hands are flowing, you won't be paying attention to some of the little crafty things that he was doing. Like Cash Crypto was saying, like the dude is a far better boxer from a technical standpoint than what he's given credit for. The other thing too is like when it comes to fighting on the inside, David Morrell is a little bit inconsistent when it comes to utilizing physical controls. David Benavidez, for the most part, now he's gotten so much better with just like framing and posting and pinning and you know, just placing his shots. And for a guy that throws as much as he does, I know this may sound strange, but I feel like he's very economical. Like he doesn't waste anything. It's like, yeah, he's high volume, but he places the shot so well. He's grown a lot as a counterpuncher. I actually think he's the sharper counterpuncher between he and Morrell. Because once again, it's like Morrell, when you watch most of his fights, he's just been blasting guys out of there. Whether it be like Cena Ebeko, Calvin Henderson, the Idols fight, that went 12 rounds, even though he stopped him at the end, but like that went 12 rounds. But when you see those fights where he goes the distance, you don't really see him make too many adjustments throughout the course of the fight. It's just the same thing. It's just like press, and just like hope he wears the guy out. The other fight where he went the distance, Lennox Allen, it was the same thing. He won the fight, and he won pretty decisively. But once again, it's like once he couldn't just knock the guy out, there was no contingency. Like he didn't set any traps. He didn't like take a step back, get the guy to commit, drill him with a shot. Like you just don't really see that from Dave Morrell. I'm not sure if tomorrow night all of a sudden he's going to be able to just pull this stuff out of his back pocket.
Right.
That's a good
Not
point
to mention
there.
the experience. Not hey, Ann McQueen. Hold on.
Breakdown
Ann McQueen.
guru
Let's give
right
Ann
there.
McQueen a round of applause.
Yeah.
That's the breakdown guru.
I've been watching both of these guys like a maniac, like a degenerate, especially like shout out to my man Flossie, but I've been watching these fights like backwards, forwards, enhanced speed.
So
You
Ann
know what I mean?
McQueen,
Like,
who would you put your money on? What would your
I would put it on David Benavidez. I do think that David Morrell, he's got a strong chance in this fight. I feel like personally, I believe his best chances would be in an exchange. Like you want to see if the power could affect him like that. The way to do it will be in the exchange. But if it comes down to a tactical battle or a technical battle, surprisingly, like prior to like watching both of these guys over the past couple of weeks, like almost incessantly, I would have thought that David Morrell would have been the far superior technician, especially just given the reputation that he has, the whole Cuban school of boxing, decorated amateur. He was like 145 and 2 as an amateur or whatever, was something crazy like that. But and then also, you know, Ronnie Shields being in this corner. But I must say,
Yep.
to your point about experience, I think one of the things that may be a tad bit overlooked here is while David Benavidez doesn't have the amateur background that Morrell has, when it comes to sparring and the quality of work that he's gotten since a teenager. I mean, the guy was 14 years old sparring with the
The
likes
experience
of
is there.
Triple G and Kelly Pavlik and even Gvozdyk. Like Gvozdyk, he had sparred Gvozdyk years prior. And Gvozdyk is on record saying before they even fought that, like, yo, David got off on him when he was a teenager. And you got to remember, the only person to beat Gvozdyk prior to David Benavidez was Arthur Beterbiev.
Yeah, well, you certainly came up with a good analogy. But listen,
What about Ann McQueen? Let me ask you this too. What about the fact though that Benavidez is fast enough to punch in between Morrell's punches?
That's a huge part of it. To be honest with you. And that's why I was saying that's why the utilization of physical controls is extremely important, especially in a matchup like this when you got two guys that are heavy on the offense. And I just feel like David Benavidez. I think that Morel is skilled, but like I was saying to you guys earlier, I had to go and look at the differences between being skilled and technique. Like skill is the ability to do something. Technique is the method in which you carry it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So when you watch David Benavidez, when he's punching in combination, he's not just letting his hands run. Usually he'll throw a shot and then he'll transition from throwing a shot into some form of physical control. Like, for example, like let's say he'll throw a right hand, he'll land the right hand, but then he'll hook the other guy's right hand, peel his guard down, put a left hook behind that, maintain control of his right hand, then put the uppercut behind it. It's not just him just letting his hands run, where it's like Morel, he'll just throw punches, and if he's not controlling the other guy physically, that leaves a vacancy. It leaves a void for a counter shot to come through. And to your point about David Benavidez having the quicker hands, he can definitely catch him in between shots like that too. So it's a very tricky fight because I do think that David Morel is very strong. I think he's very talented, but I just think like the attention to detail from David Benavidez, I feel like that's what can make the difference in this fight if it turns into a technical thing. But hell, David's got a very good chance. I feel like his best opportunity, in my personal opinion, would be to try to force an exchange similar to like what Anthony Dirrell did. There was a moment in that Dirrell fight where Dirrell, he just punched with David.
Yeah.
It can't be a my turn, your turn type of thing. Like you got to punch with him. Because if you allow him to get off first, one thing I will say about David Benavidez is he is pretty damn responsible. Like if you go look at CompuBox, plus minus, you would be surprised at some of the names that he's amongst. Like it's like Shakur Stevenson, Dimitri Bivol, Bam Rodriguez, and David Benavidez is like right there. He's like fourth or something like that. So he's extremely efficient on both sides, offense and defense. And the one thing about him is, while it doesn't look good, it's not pretty. It's not aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
But in terms of functionality.
Yeah. People definitely downplay his abilities, man.
Well,
they think he's just coming forward and punching because they not understanding what techniques and stuff he's using.
Hey, 2 Cent in the chat. Hey, 2 Cent.
Yeah,
I was just saying I enjoyed y'all. I gotta go because like I said, I'm not feeling that well, but I'll be watching the fight. But if you do the live, I'll try to make sure I get on too.
All right, Mr. Greg. And what do y'all think about the bright lights? How do y'all think that will affect Morel? It's such a big moment. He been seeming pretty cool to me.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna lie, Morel looked a little nervous to me today, though, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Morel was
I agree with that.
shaky.
I agree with that.
Well, what's the Greg made a comment that during the press conference, Morel got into it with one of the fans, and Greg was like, "That's what's supposed to happen." You know what I mean? When you have such a big opponent you're going against, his fans is going to heckle. You know what I mean? And I don't know if Morel understands that. You know me all too well. He seemed super content though, like leading up to it today, a little bit more nerves. But he definitely seemed like he's more content.
No, that's fair.
Phenomenal show. It's funny that they both named David, but we know who everybody talking about when they say David.
I mean, even if he is nervous, I think it's normal. I think like once they get in there and the hands start flowing, he'll probably settle in. Hopefully he settles in. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he settles in and he doesn't get overwhelmed by the moment itself. Not necessarily.
Do y'all see multiple knockdowns possibly? Y'all see multiple knockdowns possibly?
Hey, it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah, possible.
For the reason you named, like David Benavidez with him being quick on the trigger, and also with David Morel's strength. Like we don't know, man. So yeah, it could be multiple knockdowns for sure.
Got some new people in the building. We got Just Do Boxing, Boxing Source, Richie L. What's going on? Thank y'all for joining me. Punch that like and subscribe button. Please, if you haven't already, click the link and come give your 2 cents, or you can always call in. I need somebody to actually call in and test out this call-in number. This is my first time trying it and using it, and I need to see if it's gonna work. So somebody call in real quick and give you 2 cents. I need somebody to test out that number for me. Don't be scared. Somebody say this Ninja Benavidez is in the absolute best shape of his life. He gonna have to be. Morrell better be in the best shape of his life too. Like, what are the implications for these guys after this fight? Like, what does this mean for David if he wins? What does this mean for David if he wins?
Morrell still got a lot of career to go. I don't think it's gonna affect him too bad. He just got to get in the wheelhouse and not let it happen again.
If Morrell loses, right. And this is my question too, kind of what I wanted to talk about. Me personally, I was just of the idea for the fight. Like, I think it's too early. Morrell only got 11 fights. And I get it. Like, a lot of people like, well, I want to see the best fight the best, right?
You breaking up.
Hey, can you hear me? Hey, what's your name, where you from, and what's your 2 cents? Yeah, y'all put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear. Okay, I can barely hear you though. Say something else. Y'all can hear it. Put a 1 in the chat. Y'all hear it, panel?
No, I don't hear nothing.
Y'all don't hear nothing? Oh, hold on. They say they don't hear nothing. Maybe let me share my screen.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if they hear me, but the weigh-in, Morrell was basically mocking Benavidez because he really doesn't think that Benavidez has the skill set that.
Y'all can't hear? Hold on. Can y'all hear him?
I heard him for a moment. I heard him say something about mocking Benavidez because he doesn't have the skill level. Then he cut out.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me figure this out. Can you hear me? Okay, let me figure this out real quick. Let me try this. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Bear with me. I don't know. Okay. Now let me do it like this. All right. Now go ahead. I think they can hear you. Y'all let me know if y'all
So
can
y'all
hear
got
him.
me?
Y'all hear him?
Good. Yo.
Yeah.
Okay, they can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. I see what you did there. So yeah, going back to the thing with the weigh-in, and this has basically been David Morrell throughout the fight week. He is like kind of mocking Benavidez, but this is going through some history because people have heard about David Benavidez since he pretty much defected from Cuba. Like he was before, like when he left Cuba, he actually went to Mexico first before he hit Minnesota. And in Mexico, they were talking about David Benavidez. So he was like, okay, who is this guy? So once he was coming up in the pros, like first 3 fights, winning the WBA super middleweight title, he already knew about David Benavidez. So like ever since then, he's knew about him. And then in 2023, he called out David Benavidez. So he's been waiting for this fight for years.
So you say he's been prepping for him.
Yeah, he's been prepping for him the whole time. You know, called him out April 2023 after knocking out Yamaguchi Falcao in 1 round. And so, he's been looking for that fight for some time, but he just, didn't put it together until now. So this is basically it, where he's gonna say like, hey, I'm gonna show you like how much skills that I have in this. So the only thing would be is if David Benavidez goes to like a completely, different level here from a skill standpoint. Like he has the offense as far as like the way that he flows with, his punch output and things like that. But go see from early how Benavidez deals with that.
So you're saying Morrell has
'Cause
been preparing for Benavidez for years?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like this is coming
I'm not
from his
buying
coach,
that.
Ronnie Shields.
The way they talk about him, the way they talk about
Like you can
Benavidez,
check.
robot.
Like y'all know where I'm at as far as like the channel is, everything. So you can hear from him. But like this is like a fight that like he is like, okay, this is my moment where I'm gonna show y'all, okay, now I get a fight against a notable guy that the common people know about, where I'm able to actually show my skill.
Yeah, I mean, but that
So
still
that's
don't
how
mean
he's
you're
going
gonna
about it.
win. You still might be
Hey, I mean,
outmatched.
hey.
You still might be outmatched.
Yeah, that's
Right,
not the
but
feeling I
then
get.
you got the thing there with Benavidez though, like who is he faced that's been at this size that matches him height for height, reach for reach, and could and is ambidextrous actually. Because Morrell is ambidextrous. He fights starting off as southpaw, but he could switch stances. So we'll have to see.
Benavidez switched stance too.
Benavidez,
But that's my 2 cents on that.
Okay. That's all you got for the show?
But just wanted to make sure everything was good on the call front for you.
All right. Thank you for coming up. Thank you for giving your 2 cents on the show.
I don't get the
All right,
feeling
so
that
I still got to figure out. I still got to figure out how to.
Do y'all feel like Morrell's respecting? I don't think Morrell's respecting David Benavidez' skills, but I think he's thinking that it's looking like it ain't shit on the outside, but he gonna get in there and see that it really is some shit.
That's why I was saying, like, you could do all that practicing, preparing, but if you outmatched, you just outmatched.
Man, calling
Hold
something
on.
easy and
GM say Benavidez been ducking. GM, why has Benavidez been ducking? Come up here on the panel, drop your 2 cents or call in.
that's cap.
Why
man.
has Benavidez been ducking?
This fight could have got
Cash
made.
Crypto say that's cap.
This fight could have got made a while ago, but Ronnie Shields is the one who said, nah, we need more time. So Benavidez was ready to go. So don't call him a duck now that his plans don't meet your.
Why everybody have to be ducking?
But why? That's just a term we use here in the YouTube boxing
I'm
community.
getting sick of that term. Everybody ducking.
Yeah, that's major cap. Benavidez ain't ducking no smoke.
Hey, I've been hearing people saying he really ain't want to fight Canelo. He been posturing, and I'm kind of like,
man,
I haven't looked into it really, but I don't know. They might have a point.
Man,
they might have a point.
Canelo? Benavidez?
Huh?
Who don't want Canelo? Benavidez?
Yeah.
Oh, he really
been posturing. They say he been posturing.
Nah, he want Canelo. Nah, if anything, bro, Benavidez. One thing I believe the words that's coming out of his mouth. He seems so sincere when he says things, and it's not just this fight. He be seeming like he's so serious. Like when he say he want to break his mouth, I really believe he's gonna go in there and punch him in the mouth.
Yeah, Benavidez be serious. Benavidez ain't playing with y'all.
100%. And Benavidez is showing Morrell the respect that he deserves. He knows that he's a good fighter. You know what I mean? So he's trained to face a good fighter. This dude's thinking that Benavidez ain't like he's just all basic and shit. Like he's fucking up. You ain't gonna prepare right if that's what you're thinking.
Richie L, what's not true? Click the link, Richie. Link pinned to the top of the chat. Be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. Let me know and drop it below your 2 cents. You can help monetarily support the channel by hitting the Cash App and or dropping a super chat.
All right, fellas and sisters, I'm about to get off of here, man.
All right, big dog Willie.
All right.
Question though, hey,
Hold it down, Willie.
if Canelo loses the Bud, how does it look for a Benavidez fight?
I'm about to kick you off my panel, band up.
Man,
No, I'm talking about far as if he loses to him. Like, 'cause I heard a video today that he was trying to go for Benavidez after the Bud fight.
You know Canelo not fighting Bud, right, band up?
Okay, we gonna see.
I'm sorry.
Man,
You
every
haven't
goddamn-
heard?
every star in the damn
You haven't
galaxy would
heard,
have to
band
align
up?
right.
What haven't I heard? 2 cents. I've been sick today, so I ain't been on the media too hard.
Am I the one gonna have to break you? Have a seat. Sit down. Are you sitting?
Yeah, I'm sitting.
Okay. Listen. I'm sorry to have to be the one to tell you this, but Canelo has now signed back with the PBC, and he is not fighting Terrence Bud Crawford. It was all a lie. They were never fighting September 13th. Bend Over Bernie just came out and made that up to hype up Bud's fans and lie to them like he does about big fights.
I don't know why they be doing y'all like that, man. It's fucked up.
I'm sorry, Band Up. Listen, I'm
We
sorry.
gonna see. Okay, I mean, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, I'm pretty sure it'll happen. I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic.
I gotta get my son. All right, 2 cents, band up. Aunt McQueen.
All right, Cash Crypto. Just Do Boxing says
Yes, sir.
Espinoza said he felt that Canelo versus Bud was happening. Well, he said he was sure it would get signed. So I don't know. That's wild. They lied to us, man. Yeah, I don't know. So you said Espinoza said he felt that Canelo versus Bud was. When did he say this? Recently?
But Just Do was on there today, putting it out there. If I'm not mistaken. But Espinoza does have. Espinoza does have.
They said Jamal, Charlo, M. Billy, and Skull are opponents next up for Canelo. And I'm like, if he finna fight 2 out of the 3 of them this year, how you fighting Bud in September? Well, we'll see.
If I had to guess, it would probably be William Skull, because William Skull got the IBF. He gets the IBF back, he'll be undisputed again, and then whoever he fights after that. So we'll see.
Espinoza said it could happen through the PBC. Oh, okay. PBC finna put on Bud and Canelo. Man, I swear I wouldn't put on nothing with Bud. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all, but that's just me.
2 cents. Why don't you like Bud?
Who said I didn't like him?
Just my analogies.
No, it's just my opinion.
Why wouldn't you put anything on with Bud?
Because he's too difficult to deal with, bro. Did you not see what just happened?
With what?
Negotiations. Bob said he's difficult to deal with in negotiations. He's just hard to negotiate with. It's hard to deal with. Play too many games. You already know, Banda. We're not about to do this. We're not about to.
I'm just curious. I know why the other platforms be having they hate. I feel that, but I had to ask you that specifically.
There's no hate. Just observations.
You know, I can't say that. I don't feel like you be hating on him though. When you be having your comments, I don't feel like you hate. I definitely feel like Marty and I'll tell them to their face too. I feel like Marty and Greg be hating on my guy. But
they saying the same thing I'm saying.
No. Especially not Mr. Greg. Greg pushes something different.
What? Mr. Greg is a Bud fan. What are you talking about?
Mr. Greg is not a Bud fan. He is a Spence fan.
He is a Bud fan. What are you talking about? Mr. Greg is a Bud fan.
Talk about AM Sports, Greg.
Oh! I thought you were talking about.
I know. Mr. Quarterbomb is a Greg fan, but I'm talking about Mr. Greg. AM Sports.
Talking about 2 cents is definitely hating. Nah. Shout out Just Do Boxing on the panel. What up, Just Do?
What's good, 2 cents? How you feeling, Queen? Yeah. Damn, you didn't. Damn, I don't know. You probably wasn't in the show at the time. You didn't hear that little clip where Espinoza was talking about Bud and Canelo?
No. I just seen that post today about Reynoso saying that they're going back to the PBC and they named the opponents he might be fighting this year.
Yeah. it was a clip. If I still got it in my phone, I don't think I deleted it. I'm gonna try to see if I can like DM it to you. I mean, you could play the audio or check it out for yourself, either or. But so you can hear it for yourself what he was saying. You know how he do. He
Put the
come
link in
out,
the chat.
said, "Oh, put the link in the chat." I got you. I got you. Bet. I got you.
So, but we'll see. Canelo, Bud. Who y'all got? Vegas gonna take all y'all money.
You know exactly who I got.
Vegas gonna take all y'all money.
Oh, and he's gonna put on the show.
But like seriously, like you think boxing is going to? It's just I just can't see Bud beating Canelo, y'all. It just seems like they feeding all the smaller undefeated fighters to Canelo.
So the thing about it is,
I mean, undisputed. They feeding all the smaller undisputed fighters to Canelo, like and making it seem like he's the ultimate undisputed. When
I
really
think,
you
I
bringing
think
these
people
dudes
give
up to
Bud enough credit for his skills. Bud has supreme skill. Like he really like, and his punches, the way he throws them, is crazy. They come from different angles. His agility, how he moves, he's very smart. And that's honestly my backing onto why I think he'll beat Canelo. He is very smart. He will figure him out.
I mean, that's fine, Branda, right? Like if I'm skilled enough and smart enough to figure you out. But once I realize the things I figured out aren't going to do anything and you're going to keep coming forward and punching me, like what Charlo experienced, then what?
The thing about it is Charlo wasn't throwing back though. Charlo got on his bike.
Was throwing back.
Charlo was barely throwing back.
But why do you think he was throwing at the beginning? Why do you think he started barely throwing back, Banda?
Charlo thought he was going to go in there and apply his will on Canelo and figure that it wasn't the game plan.
That's what you think Crawford about to do.
I think Crawford's going to be more methodical about it, honestly. I think he's going
about what?
And more patient about how he's going to approach Canelo. It's similar, kind of like even in the Madrimov fight, Crawford was
patient if Canelo walking him down and cutting off the ring.
Canelo is not a bull in a china shop.
Canelo is going to walk forward, cut the ring off, and punch on him, arms, shoulders, everywhere. Crawford's going to have to use that. Oh, we're going to have to see old Crawford with that footwork, which is going to be hard to do because he's going up 2-3 weight classes. Crawford's not going to be the same Crawford at 147 at 68 because he has all that weight.
You said that. I heard you say that before. Have you looked at that Madrimov fight? Tell me Bud slowed down at all.
You don't think Bud looked a step slow in that Madrimov fight?
I don't, and I rewatched it with the sound off. I don't think he was slower.
But what does that have to do with 68?
The thing he's obviously he can carry the weight well. I know that's 57 or 54 or however it go, but still, and the same thing with 68. I don't think that's too much weight for him. Fighters have moved up more than 14 pounds and still done fine.
The issue band up though, to me, my opinion. I mean, you could be right. Crawford could go up there and outbox Canelo for 12 rounds masterfully and beautifully, and they actually give him a decision. Or he might go up there and knock out Canelo, which I highly, highly doubt. But that extra weight is going, and you're not acclimating. You're not acclimating? Come on. Like that stuff's a big deal, band up. Everybody want to keep talking about old fighters. These fighters ain't old fighters. So for them to all of a sudden just move like an old fighter, like no, they haven't been moving like that their whole career. And then you're gonna jump up 2-3 weight classes for a fight. I'm not saying you can't win, but it's highly unlikely, is what I'm saying.
I feel where you're coming from with that. I feel you're coming from. I definitely think people's putting too much stock into Canelo's weight. I definitely.
Supreme L in the building. What's going on, Supreme L? Long time no talk to. GM say, why are we talking about a fight that ain't happening? They said Espinoza said it's supposed to be happening. The PBC might be putting it on.
Espinoza had a 9-minute video today that he put out.
Yeah, I need to watch it. It be so much going on in boxing and be moving so quick. But I want to hear everybody 2 cents. Y'all click the link and call in and let me know. what y'all think about this Benavidez fight. If you just coming in the chat, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you call in, come up, let me know what y'all think about this Benavidez fight. I feel like it could go either way, but I'm really leaning more towards Benavidez because of the experience. We just got a great breakdown from at McQueen. Y'all can go back and rewind it in the video if you want to watch it, but he did a good job. C say people think because Floyd beat Canelo, Bud can, but Floyd did it at 152. Big difference than 168. He said they could put it on.
It's not only
Turkey. Huh?
It's not only Floyd that we say that for. Well, me personally, I don't know about anybody else. I can only speak for myself.
Bud is going to make you guys rethink the whole way you look at boxers and boxing. We'll see. And even if Bud Duke beat Canelo, I'm still not finna feel like the smaller fighter finna go up and beat the bigger fighter all the time. Like,
yeah, I definitely feel like, yeah, as I said, his skill, for me, it's his skill. It's not the fact the fight a little fighter coming up. It's that skill. He, like, I honestly believe his punching, what's it called? His punch IQ is off the charts.
Mr. M Pride, did Laura beat Canelo? No. Is Bud Crawford Floyd Mayweather? No. Is Bud Crawford 175 pounds like Bivol? No.
Bivol didn't use his size, though, to beat Canelo. He beat his boxing ability.
That, man, what sense that make what you just said?
He was so in theory, when I'm like how how Tyson Fury zapped Deontay Wilder's legs by using his weight, leaning on him, putting him on the rope and shit like that. He didn't do that. Bivol didn't do that to Canelo.
That doesn't mean that his size didn't play a factor in the fight, because he was bigger than him, because he didn't lean on him.
What I'm saying is it was more of his boxing ability to beat Canelo, irritating him, getting him mad, you know what I mean, than it was just the size.
All right, here we go, y'all. Let's take a look at this Espinoza video, because I haven't seen the whole thing. We can watch it live together. Hold on, let me take this comment off.
Las Vegas paper looks like a pure 50-50 with two guys entering the primes of their careers. How excited are you to see this matchup on a couple days ago? This.
See it?
Yeah, I see it.
This is as good as any fight you can make in boxing. I know everybody's, very interested in, the Bivol Beterbiev rematch, in which I am as well. I think this is every bit as good as that in any other fight, because these are two guys in their prime. There's a lot of heat. There's a lot of personal rivalry. And, sometimes when you've got a big side of shows the rest of the card. Very quietly, the card is really, really solid too. I mean, I don't like to use the word stacked because everyone uses it, but all action. Yeah,
Okay.
talk about, I mean,
Okay. Meaningful fights, good fights coming up. We all know that. All right.
Pitbull Cruz, chuck him on any undercard anywhere in the world, even a main event. And people will tune in. Obviously, you got Stephen Fulton. What was this main event, though? I want to know. For instance, if Benavidez comes through this test, which I think is a big test, I think it's equal test for both. What does the door open?
Y'all know what? I hate for somebody to shake. But he's asking what'll be next for Benavidez.
Terence Crawford. What do you think's next for him potentially? Well, as we've said over the years, I mean, the great thing about David Benavidez is when he hasn't gotten that what he's done, just continue and risk fights and wait. I think there's a lot that the rest of the sport can take. Certainly there are fighters like that, but a lot of times fighters sort of treading water, either waiting or take non-meaningful fights because we learn. It's not David Benavidez. David is sort of said, "Look, I'd love to have Canelo," and he's done that, and he's fought guys that no one's looking for over and over again. And look, he's even said it before. You know, you talk about guys that no one wants to face.
Yeah, Bivol. Do y'all think Benavidez has a shot at beating in either one of those? Because I honestly don't. I don't think he can beat Beterbiev or Bivol. Oh, the video been choppy? Oh, y'all ain't saying nothing. The video been choppy?
Benavidez was talking about how he dealt with Bivol fairly easily in sparring. He did say that Bivol had a strong right hand. He said he had a really good right hand.
Who said they was dealing with him in sparring?
David Benavidez. David Benavidez sparred him a couple times.
So he was handling Bivol and sparring Benavidez?
Yeah, because he was saying it was based on his timing. But if you watch the way that Bivol fights, I can somewhat understand it. Like as far as like his rhythm, that's the one thing about Bivol. He's like a very rhythmic fighter for the most part. He does have his moments where he abandons that pendulum, but
I was definitely going to say he is a rhythm fighter.
So you think what? Y'all think that Benavidez would give Bivol trouble? I haven't really pictured this fight in my head, so that's why I'm just trying to think about it right now while y'all saying it.
If he punch straight, for sure.
Get his timing. If you get his timing down, he can. But she said that
he definitely got to beat him to the punch. You got to beat him to the punch.
How do I turn the quality down on the video so it won't be buffering?
You click that little sprocket. There's that little sprocket right there, and it says settings, and then you can go to quality.
Oh, is that what this is called? A sprocket?
Yeah, that little thing right there.
Quality. Okay, and 720. All right. Now let's try this again, y'all. Get me right with the technology. Let's see. All right, here we go.
He hasn't been shy. He
This
said,
better?
"Sure, give it to me."
Are you a fan of the Crawford-Canelo proposed matchup? Obviously, Crawford's moving up in weight. We're hearing there's no rehydration clause, which I know sometimes it's normally a bit of give and take. But Canelo's Canelo, and if he says no, you're sort of dealing with his A side in terms of that fight. Are you a fan of this? And what chance do you give Terence Crawford in that fight?
I wouldn't say I'm not a fan. You know, it's not. Wouldn't be my first choice, if I ruled the world. But
I don't think Espinoza liked this fight. I don't think he liked this fight. He said it'll be hard to market. I heard him talking about this fight before, and he was just saying we would definitely have to figure out a way to market it. But if Turkey gonna be in there making it rain, I don't know. The video still choppy, y'all?
look, it's coming.
No, it's playing smooth.
Likely to get, and the reality is, once it is finalized, people will get excited. Like it's sort of like, okay, that's what we're getting. I don't want to spend a lot of time saying, look, we should have gotten this or that. When we've got something it's not bad, and it is intriguing. I do think the weight is going to be a major factor, and the size. But so for that reason, I probably prefer a different fight, but I can get into this one and I'll get excited, and I think everybody else will as well.
Where do you put a Terence Crawford now, who's already sort of certified in boxing? His achievements, speak for themselves. Where do you put a Terence Crawford if he beats Canelo? It doesn't matter how he does it. I mean, if he stopped him, I think that'd be incredibly impressive. But if he gets past this test and manages to get a victory, where does he sit amongst the greats of this sport?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly would be one of the biggest upsets, in quite a while. I'm trying to think of when last time we've seen like a much smaller guy upset. I mean, you might have to go back to Pacquiao De La Hoya, when, everybody coming in who were sort of saying, hey, look, this fight maybe shouldn't even been happening because one guy's too small. And that guy ended up winning. If he does it, it's a monumental accomplishment. And at that point, I think Terence Crawford has answered every question.
I mean, I ain't trying to make no comparisons or nothing. But I'm just saying it is, like an accusation that Pacquiao is on steroids.
He can retire, he can do whatever he wants, but certainly if he decided at his age and what he's accomplished that he's done it all, I wouldn't disagree with that.
There's always hype surrounding, when we come on to Gervonta Tank Davis now, Lamont Roach, that fight's coming up in New York. I think Gervonta is at that stage now, and I've said it to a few people, especially the UK side. Over here, I think he could pretty much fight anyone and people would show up. And that's that superstar appeal of, I suppose, he could fight someone in this room and I think there would still be eyes on it because of what he brings. The test, obviously, Lamont's going upon us, so I feel like as a free hit, nothing really much to lose here, everything to gain. What type of stylistic sort of matchup do you expect this to be?
Look, I think Lamont is probably an underrated guy because he doesn't have the biggest name. But look, we saw it a little bit in the Benavidez fight, in the Vodchik fight. There David had an opponent that was very familiar with him, that had done a ton of sparring with him. And I think, personally, that's one of the reasons that that Vodchik gave him some problems. Now, Lamont Roach doesn't have as long a history as Vodchik did with Benavidez, but he certainly, goes back a while. They've been in the same circles. They spent time in the ring together. And I think that's a major advantage to be able to have seen that style before.
Whenever I speak to anyone, Dan Rafael, even some of the more distinguished journalists from the UK, and I say, look, we've seen a lot of big fights now because of the influx of Saudi Arabia, and obviously over here at PBC, historically put on the biggest fights. So we're sort of seeing all these Disneyland fights. But when I ask what's the one fight that hasn't been made that you want to see, especially over here, it's Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. That's what I hear from everyone. You must look at that fight and go, for boxing in this country over here.
All right, Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. Let's see what he's about to say about this. What y'all think about what he said about the Bud fight? They're not really trying to see that fight. And band up, I don't think it's because Bud gonna pound Nello. Pause.
Over here, that could be a mega event which stops where the world stops to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it really has all of the ingredients. It's got a sort of a long buildup. You've had a heated rivalry. You've got a good mix of styles. You've got two guys who are clearly in their prime. I love that fight. I mean, I love the Ryan Garcia rematch as well. I think, weight might become an issue the longer that time goes by. But I think, those two are both monster fights.
In terms of the PBC schedule coming up, huge statement with this fight. I think both men need commending for taking this fight. Like you say, they can go alternate routes. Like David Morrell's 10, 11 and 0. He would be remiss for saying, you know what, no, not right now. And Benavidez risking it all, really, when he's in this good position. What's the sort of schedule, do you think, coming up? And what fights can we look forward to?
Well, we're still working on the undercard for Tank for March 1. And then I think the next one up is Fundora. I mean, there's a lot of discussion about that, but I think that will get finalized and either going to do when and where. I mean, everyone assumes it'll be May, and and who it's against and who it's with is still very much up in the air. So I think, look, it's once we got going here in February, I think it's going to be pretty busy coming forward.
Do you think we see Errol Spence in the mix again? I know there was talk of the Fundora fight. It's been talked about for about 18 months.
Big Fish. Big Fish about to make a comeback. I seen this part of the video. Yeah, Big Fish about to make a comeback. But where did he say in this video they was making the fight, though? Do I need to let it keep playing? What
Is he back?
I didn't hear him say nothing about making no Bud fight.
I do. I wouldn't doubt that he's back at all, because the reality is the reports from the gym, for what they're worth, are that he looked really, really good. Now that's from the gym, and gym is different than in the ring. But people that I trust very well and who speak honestly and objectively has said he looked really good coming into that fight. So I'm anxious to see him back.
100%. Stephen, look, I think it's about to get going. I appreciate your time as always. Catch up soon.
All right. See.
Nah, I didn't hear him say nothing about PBC making a Bud fight. Did I miss it? What y'all think in the chat? Did I miss it? All right, look. Big fight tomorrow. Excited about the fight tomorrow. I'm definitely going to be on somebody's panel tomorrow talking about this fight. Definitely about to hop online and put some little parlays together. But did he say they still making the undercard? They still working on the Tank undercard? Wow. I wonder what fights they think about putting on there. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. Thank you for punching that like and subscribe button. If you're new here, let me know you subscribed. I want to thank everybody that supported the channel tonight. Y'all make sure y'all go over there and check out D1, the Angry White Man. Drop your link in the chat, D1. Make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to the channel. He said it's coming. It's likely to get finalized, referring to the Canelo versus Bud. Oh, okay. Put your link in the chat, D1, before you go, so people can come over there and chit chat with you. I just want to talk about the fight tonight. I didn't want to get into too many topics, but come back Sunday, we're going to be talking about the fight again. And we're going to be talking about the current topics and events that happened throughout the week that I'm going to be giving my 2 cents about. Is Floyd Mayweather the reason Gervonta Tank Davis is a star? Ryan Garcia finally enrolled in VADA testing. But Ryan Garcia was rolled in VADA testing the last time he popped dirty. And my question is, how is the same thing that didn't work last time gonna work this time? You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all been VADA, like, maybe y'all should try something different. Am I tripping? Y'all been VADA when it was VADA last time and he still popped dirty. So why do you think that VADA this time he not gonna pop dirty? I'm just asking. It's like y'all doing the same thing. I don't understand. And if he agreed to the VADA testing, why he not on the website? He agreed to the year-round testing. Why his picture ain't on the website? Why y'all only got Devin picture on the website? I'm just asking. This is just questions. I'm just asking. They're like, oh, Ryan did doing VADA. Like, okay, he did VADA last time. I'm just asking. We're going to talk about all this Sunday because it's just a little weird to me. And I really haven't been like just following the Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney thing unless something just really stands out, because really it's just the same thing. Take the drug test, sign up for the drug test, all of that stuff. I'm excited about this card tomorrow. Y'all cannot wait to see these fights. I like Brandon Figueroa and Stephen Fulton. That is going to be a good fight. I hope Fulton can come back, get back into himself a little bit, and still be able to perform how he was able to perform before. I think that would be great for him. He's still young in his career. David versus Pitbull. Pitbull needs a win. He needs to have an exciting fight, a knockout. I really think Pitbull is just too small for 140. I think he's too small for 140, like for real. But if you're listening to the replay of this live, let me know what you think by dropping your 2 cents below in the comments. You can definitely call in and leave 2 cents of voicemail. And if you don't want your host kicking you off the panel, leaving you in the background, cussing you out, yelling at you all in the video, come on over here to 2 Cents Boxing, where we talk everything boxing and everybody's entitled to their own opinion.